Okay, today we're looking at the process of taking that JPEG that you've got. Now, again, won't, just to let you know, this won't work with grayscale. I'm going to explain that in a minute. So we're in Photoshop here. I'm just going to go ahead and do the usual reset stuff, reset 3D, come back over here, workspace, essentials. I'm going to go ahead and do that, just like I tell you guys to always do. Workspace, reset essentials. Good. Come over here to the current tool. I'm going to right click on the current tool, reset all tools. Okay, that's just how we normally start in Photoshop. So let's go ahead and open a JPEG that I pulled down earlier, and we'll explain more about what's going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and go open. That wasn't what I wanted. Cancel. File, open. And I'm going to find that JPEG that I took. Now, later on or in a different video, I'm going to talk about how to get things into that JPEG. Now, as we're doing this, remember, our focus today is limited to turning a JPEG into something that we can use our 3D printer with. Now, a couple things here. Strong contrast between the foreground and the background. In other words, the object and the background. Okay. Also, simpler, thicker lines are going to work better. That all said, I'm going to go ahead and turn off contiguous. I've got what I'm using right now is the magic eraser tool. I just want to get rid of the background. Done. So now I've gotten rid of the background. It really was that easy. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to rename this layer here. Oops, layer 0. I'm just going to name it bicycle. Good. Okay. So now I've got my bicycle layer. I've erased everything in the background. That's what that checkerboard means is transparent. Now let's go to the next step. I'm going to go ahead and right click on bicycle. And I'm going to come down here to new 3D extrusion from selected layer. Yes, we're going to switch to the 3D workspace. We know that. Good. Now, this is the one thing is the point of view, the perception. We kind of want to get rid of that. So let's go ahead and see if we can get straight. Good. And now we're also going to click on bicycle here, and we're going to change the extrusion depth to 10. Okay. So a couple of things we did there. One of the things was we changed it so we're looking, so it's simply flat lines instead of having a depth. And we also changed the extrusion depth. I'm going to come over here to layers. That looks fine. Now I'm just going to go ahead and right click on that guy. And we're going to export 3D layer. Yeah, we're almost there. Now, once we export that 3D layer, I'm going to go ahead and bicycle line drawing. And it's not a JPEG. I'm going to come down here to format. And the one we want to use is the object OBJ format. So now I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to click on save. Okay, yes. Okay. Good. Now we're basically done here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just get this out of my way. And we're going to go to Tinkercad now. Tinkercad. And I'm going to go ahead and open Tinkercad. And we're going to create. Now, if you're not over 13, you might have some trouble doing this. You may need your teacher to set up a lesson for you to do in Tinkercad Classroom. Okay, this is assuming you have your own Tinkercad pay that you can access it on your own. So Tinker create. Good. Now I'm going to import. Choose a file. And I'm going to come up here and find that line drawing object. Open. Good. We're going to leave it in millimeters right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on import. Now, this might be bigger than we wanted. I'm turning the red scroll wheel if you're wondering what I'm doing. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on the object, and now you can see the sizing handles. Now, the trick here is we want to maintain the ratio. We don't want something that looks really warped. So I'm going to hold the shift key down. I'm just going to go ahead and make that thing smaller. Now I'm going to move that, and I'm going to come over to it, and I'm just going to sort of press and hold on it and move it onto my work area. Okay, now, what if I want to put this on something? So I'm going to go ahead and move it further out of my way. And let's assume we're making a class token to put on the board. And so I'm going to grab it, and it's going to be a cylinder. That'll probably work best. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a cylinder and drag a cylinder over here. And let's see here, bevel. I am going to add a little bit of a bevel. Well, I'll explain the bevel later. I'll keep it at 0 right now. I'm going to click on this cylinder here and one of these sizing buttons on it. And let's say you were told it's going to be a 30 millimeter by 30 millimeter, and I need to move it just a little bit because this thing's in the way, by 30 millimeter by 30 millimeter, like a refrigerator magnet. Okay, so 30. Okay, good. Now we got that done. We are going to make this shorter, okay, because that's too tall. So I'm going to come over here and click on this one right here, and we're just going to make this thing 6 millimeters thick. Good. Now, our bicycle kind of clearly doesn't fit. Yes, it will. The first thing we're going to do here is make our bicycle a little bit thicker. So I'm going to click on the bicycle. I'm going to go to this one here, and we made that 6. So here we're going to go to 10. Okay, I could have typed in 10. Now I'm going to go to the corner here. I'm going to hold the shift key down. I'm going to make that thing a lot smaller, and then I'm just going to drag it over. Okay, it looks like I need it still to be smaller. Shift, smaller. Okay. Now, it should have been. Oh, I know why. I'm going to move. Now, I remember what I did wrong, and I'm going to tell you guys this. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press and hold the arrow keys, and that moved it off this thing. Okay. What I did do is this thing should not be made thinner yet. Okay. Basically, we've got it the size we want it. Now, I'm going to bring it into here. Okay, good. Now, I'm just going to click right there. You see that that has depth now. That was it. So now we have a bicycle on an object. Now, again, we can take this round token here and we can smooth those corners a bit. I'm going to go like 1. I think 1's enough. 1. Now, what that did to show you is it kind of smoothed these corners a little bit. You see how they're sort of beveled now. Anyways, once you're done, you're satisfied with that, you're just going to click on Export. Now you're going to click on STL this time, and you're going to go ahead and save it as an STL. Okay, I probably should have given it a better name by clicking up here, example bicycle. Good. Now I'm going to export it again with the better name, export, and again STL. Now at this point I can simply drag this into my slicer. It really was that easy.